Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a different type of video. Today I'm going to be talking about eating disorders. Now, if any of you are triggered by the word eating disorders or you don't like hearing about it or anything related to food, please exit out of this video if this type of video will trigger you. Now, if you do want to hear about it, and the reason why I'm going to be talking about it is because right now I am getting treatment for my eating disorder. I have a binge eating disorder, overeating, and then obesity. For a long time, I didn't even know I qualified as an eating disorder because in school, whenever we would hear eating disorders, I would only know anorexia, bulimia. So like around that, I didn't know that obesity or there was like something else was considered an eating disorder. I didn't know that applied to me, but it does. So I found this eating disorder clinic in New York, and I have been going for 2 weeks now, and I have to say I really enjoy going there. I feel a difference when I go there. My mind is not constantly telling me you have to eat this now. Nope, now we have to figure out what you're gonna eat for lunch. What are you gonna eat for dinner? You know, it's like not like if there's like, I'm not getting like so much obsessive thoughts about food. And one of my psychologists there likes to separate my eating disorder and then myself. So let's say my eating disorder is like right here and I'm right here. So like we're like splitting it. Another thing is they also had us name our eating disorder. So I named my eating disorder Jackal from Jekyll and Hyde. So that's what my eating disorder is, and that is who I'm going to be referencing, Jackal, in case anyone gets confused. So since I've been here for about 2 weeks now, I know the routine that I've been doing. And then there is also 2 other females who I'm not going to be mentioning any names or what they look like, but they are also with me, and they have a completely different disorder than mine, but we all have eating disorders. So we're all learning at the same time how to conquer it once and for all. Now, these 2 females were here 3 weeks before me, but we're still learning everything together. You know, like they're not learning something else. Like they're not learning something different than I am. So right here is my accordion folder for the program. Now, it's not necessary. You don't have to get a whole different folder. I just feel more organized when I do have this, because they do give you a folder and they give you a bunch of papers in the beginning on what you're going to be learning and how you're going to be eating, and we'll get to all that in a bit. So this folder was about $8 on Amazon, and I do have it like labeled, so it's probably a little hard to see, but this one says health. So anything like with the nurses, stuff goes here. We have nutrition here, and then we have coping skills and group therapy, and stress management was supposed to be here. The life skills tag, but it fell off. So I'm also going to be showing you the modules that we go through every single day. This is my self-esteem journal. This is my self-esteem journal. So my therapist, she gave me this because she knows that with my eating disorder, I do have self-esteem issues. So it's only 2 days I filled out, and I will talk about Thursday. I felt proud when my cat trusts me and only me. A positive thing I witnessed on that day, unfortunately, was nothing. Today I accomplished speaking up about being uncomfortable. So on this day, on Thursday, I didn't end up going. Something little weird happened to me that day, so I was absent this day, so that is why this is here. So this is something they would give us. I'm actually going to be showing you quite a bit of what they give me, just so you can see. And I was just like doodling up here. Okay. Now specifics I won't be showing because of anything with my name or someone else's name. So the health wise I will not be showing, but I will start showing the nutrition. So, okay, we'll do this one. So this is my food and meal prep journal. So basically I have to write down all the stuff I had, then where I'm eating it, if it's a meal, snack, or binge, hunger and fullness. So the number system they go by is 1, which is starving, 2, very hungry, 3, ready for a meal, 4, a little hungry, 5, neutral, 6, no longer hungry, 7, satisfied, 8, slightly overfull, 9, overfull, and 10 being overfull. So we'll have you read that. And the reason why they ask us that, so they ask us this twice. When you come in, how did you feel? So for instance, for 9 a.m., I put number 2. I put very hungry. All food looks good. You may be preoccupied with your hunger. And then when I was done eating, they would ask us again, what's your number? So then I put number 7. 7 means satisfied. Hunger is definitely gone. Stop here and you may not feel hungry for another 3 to 4 hours. And then they usually ask your trigger. I didn't put any because I didn't know. And then they like asked for thoughts. So my thoughts were just saying hungry, hungry. And then they asked you about your feelings. So then I put relaxed, content, and content. So this is something I'll be filling out while I'm at the program and while I'm at home. I just, as you can see, I forget to fill it out when I'm at home. Okay, so the next is my nutritionist. She gave me 3 pieces of papers about what type of snacks I can have. So I'm going to explain it. I'm just going to show you what she gave me. Then this one just has breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So for the nutritionist, she's the one who gives me all of these journals, and she basically helps me go over what meals I can have throughout the day, what snacks I can have. And what I really like about this program is that nothing is restrictive. Nothing. No, there are no types of bad foods in this program, which I love, because she told me that all diets, no matter what it is, who made it up, where it came from, they all will fail because they're all restricting in some way. Even Weight Watchers is restrictive. It doesn't look like it's restrictive, but the point system, so let's say you have a piece of cake, it might be 40 points, then you can't eat it. Like, either you can't eat it or you do, and then you're out of your points for the rest of the day, if that makes any sense. But basically all diets fail. So basically what they like to tell people, you can eat whatever you want in moderation. So I really like that, and that's what I've been doing. I've been having some good and some not good foods, but I'm not having as much. So, and I notice it with myself, like there'll be a bag of pretzels and some onion dip. I won't have as many pretzels, maybe 8 or 9, or if I do have a lot of pretzels, then I can pair it up with fruit. So I also have type 2 diabetes, and my doctor told me that my numbers of the high number can be reversed and can get to lower, but I will always have type 2 diabetes. So not only does this help knowing what I eat, I'm going to be very mindful on what I'm eating, but this also shows the nutritionist and the rest of the doctors in there what I'm eating, what I have to change, or what I have to have a smaller amount. I hope what I'm saying is making sense because I have refilmed this video at least 3 times because it just was not uploading. But anyway, so with the type 2 diabetes, I also have to make sure I check my blood sugar. This is the machine that my nurse calls the technical device I use. Now, I could have used the one the doctor prescribed me, but it was just way too much money and it was very bulky, and I knew I wouldn't be taking that anywhere. So I found this one by Dario on Amazon, and this is not sponsored anyway. No one told me to buy this, I chose to. I was researching the glucose monitors on Amazon, and this one had the best results, best reviews, because this will connect to your phone. So all you do is you take this top out, and then you flip up the top. There. And then you just pull down this orange button, and then out comes this. Now, as you can see, this top connects to the phone. So then I'll show you, and then it obviously connects to the app. So basically tells you to place a drop of blood. Sorry if this is hard to see. And then you would just put the blood like right here, and then it'll calculate and it will show you. Basically, it'll show you your last measurement, your steps, and then it can also show like what you're eating. You can also log that in here too. And how I prick, and then like how I prick my finger, you asked, I'm sure you did. You would just pull this down, and then you place it upside down. You put your finger right here where the circle is, and then you just press this. And it's a very small amount. It's like the size of a grain of sugar, they call it. So this is what I do to test my blood sugar. I like it because it's small and I can take it wherever I want. I do recommend when buying this, you buy the full kit, and the case is separate, by the way. And then what the nurse over there recommended me to do, which I completely forgot to do, always wipe your hands first with an alcohol wipe, and then clean this with an alcohol wipe. And then that is it for testing my blood sugar. We don't have a chart. Well, I don't think they have a chart for your blood sugar, but since this connects to my phone, I don't have to worry about that. But my doctor told this clinic they want me to test my blood every 2 hours before and after I eat. So in the morning I'd wake up, it would be around like 9 a.m. I'll have breakfast, and then I would have to wait 2 hours after that, and then the next time I would test my blood would be 1 p.m. So it would be 9 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and then 7 p.m. Those are the times every single day that I will be testing my blood, whether I'm at a program or I'm at my house. Another thing that they give us, well, that they also want us to use, is the feeling wheel. So I'm also just gonna turn this around for you so you can be able to see all the feelings that we are allowed to have, and they don't always have to be good, they can be bad. So on the feeling side, we get to look at our feeling wheel and see what we're feeling that day. And it actually does make a big difference when you tell them what you're feeling. So usually mine is relaxed, content, but sometimes I'll say, you know what, I'm feeling really anxious today. And they'll write that down, and then they will schedule a session with either my counselor or my therapist. And throughout the day, you actually see a bunch of different people. So I'll basically go through my day, and then we will continue with the rest of the folder. So my times for the clinic is from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's a partial clinic. I'm not there all day, but I also get to go home. So when I get there at 1 p.m., the first thing I do my blood. That's the first thing. Then I wait for the rest of my group that needs to come in, and then we start going to the adult room, because adolescents can also go there too. So then we have our lunch. So you can choose whatever type of sandwich you want or drink and snack. But what I usually choose is a roll, turkey, ranch, orange juice, and then sometimes I'll do chips or I'll have fruit. And then I get to pick my snack at 3. So I usually have strawberries mixed with vanilla yogurt. So then we eat for about 30 minutes. We have to finish our entire meal. We have to. We don't have a choice. I mean, there are times where I can't finish a meal, and then we have to tell them why we can't. And sometimes it could be because I'm like really full, or I can't eat this specific piece of chicken and it's really bothering me, or there's way too many vegetables. I can't have all these vegetables. I feel full. So then you would have to tell them that, and then you would have to speak to someone after. You don't directly have to, but it's good if you do, because not only will it make you feel better, but you'll also let your counselor know why today you can't finish your meal. So then after lunch, we usually have it's coping skills. Another person will come in and teach us how to cope. So I'll do that later. Then at 3 p.m., like I said, it's snack time. So we'll go in the fridge and pick out my snacks. So I'll have the strawberries and I'll put it in my vanilla yogurt. I will have that. And then once again, they're gonna ask me, what were your numbers when you came in? What were your numbers once you're done eating? So let's say when I got in for snack time, it was 3. So that's ready for a meal. That means I'm hungry. I want to eat something. So when I'm all done eating the snack, what's your numbers, Gabby? Then I'll say it's a 5, meaning that I'm not hungry, nor I'm not full. So they'll do that number thing every time you eat something. So then around 4 o'clock, we'll have group therapy. Now, group therapy, there can be many types of topics, but what we're not allowed to talk about is food. Anything related to food. I know it's so weird because it's an eating disorder clinic, but we're not allowed to talk about food or war stories or any type of like, oh, I did this to lose weight or I did this to gain weight. Like we're not allowed to talk about it. We can actually get in trouble if we do. We're also not allowed to exchange numbers, also because I guess they think that we're just gonna exchange our past victories or struggles with our eating disorder. So I guess they don't want that. They do not encourage that at all. So then after group therapy, then it's dinner time. So you also get to choose what you want for dinner, and for the foods that you choose are a little, I guess I would say a little difficult because they have to follow a certain chart. I don't think I have it though. No, I don't. All right, I'll have to go get it. But they follow this circle chart. If you search up my plate on Google, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but I will try to find it and put it in the video. So basically you have to have your fats, your protein, and then your carbs, your vegetables, and your starches. I think I said all that. So for instance, let's say I had grilled cheese for dinner. So grilled cheese counts as 2 starches because of the bread, and it counts for 1 fat. So I won't be able to have potatoes or bread or a dinner roll. any type of starch. I won't be able to have that because the grilled cheese counts for it. Now, they also want us to have 2 fats, so because the grilled cheese also counts for 1 fat, I can only pick 1. So therefore, I would pick either ranch or country French dressing or butter or mayonnaise. I can have that with it. And then they're going to ask you for your vegetables. What do you want? Sometimes they'll ask for wax beans, green beans, or squash, or you can get carrots. So usually I just get carrots. And then everyone gets a salad. It's a small salad. I think it's like around a cup size. And everyone will get that. But if you don't want a salad, then you get 2 things for dessert. So dessert, you can have grapes, apples, bananas. You can have whatever the dessert is on the menu for that day. So the one I'm thinking of is Tuesday. So they'll have Italian ices, or they'll have pudding, or they'll have a mango sorbet. So usually I just get grapes, but sometimes I'll get the mango sorbet, or I'll get the brownie, or whatever else they have. And then you're allowed to pick your entree as well. So usually I go back and forth between the mac and cheese and the grilled cheese, or depending whatever like special they have, I'll probably pick that. Now, did I forget something? Oh yeah, the drinks, obviously. So the drinks, you can have apple juice, orange juice, grape juice, 1%, 2% milk, or soy milk. So I usually just get orange juice because I'm not a fan of everything else. So I don't have the paper in front of me, so that's why I'm just trying to remember. And then you're allowed to have condiments as well, like salt, pepper, ketchup, mustard. You're allowed to have all of that. And they put it in these like styrofoam like trays, so that it's like separated, so you know exactly what you're having. And if you don't want to eat out of it, they obviously give you plates, utensils, and all that. Once again, they also only give us 30 minutes to eat. I'm not sure why. I have no idea why we only can have 30 minutes, but that is what I have been dealing with. We are also not allowed to cut up our food into small pieces because those are symptoms of an eating disorder. Like really, really tiny pieces. We're not allowed to do that. I think there was one other thing we're not allowed. I can't think of it right now. But there's a lot of rules that we have to follow. So while we're eating, we can talk about whatever we want. We don't have to sit in silence, but as long as nothing is about food. So like for instance, the last topic we were talking about was about Olivia Newton-John, RIP. So we were talking about how she died and all that jazz. So we were talking about that. We don't have to talk about bad things. We can talk about good things. Like I said, we can talk about whatever we want as long as it doesn't have to do with food or our eating disorder. Those are the only times we're not allowed to talk about that. So then there was another person. Oh, by the way, whenever we're eating, we're always supervised. So they will watch us as we eat, like not like intense, but like, you know, like they're supervising. And then at 6 p.m. is snack time, or it's another type of activity. So whatever I picked out for snack, which is usually grapes, I'll have grapes, or I will pick something else, and then we can either do an activity outside, or we can go back into the group room and we talk about something there. What we did on Friday, we did meditation, and I have done meditation once before the clinic, but it was like a while ago. And basically we had to envision ourselves in a field of grass, or at the beach, or in a valley, and it was very relaxing and I really enjoyed that. I was able to close my eyes and envision myself in my backyard cloud watching. That's what I saw. And I actually wanted to do that as soon as I got home too. So that was interesting. It's not always the same thing every time for the 6 o'clock activity. They like to change it up a bit. And then at 7 o'clock, we go home. So I forgot to mention at 5 before I eat, I also do the blood sugar. But then we just sign out, then we go home. The day usually goes by fast. You usually don't feel it. It doesn't feel like a long time depending on the day or the week. It's like last week it felt like forever, and then this week went by super fast. So when I'm there, I feel like I'm in paradise. Like I feel free of my thoughts because I'm trying to get better and I'm not constantly in my environment where I feel like crap and feel like I should feel ashamed and all that. So now I'm going to be going through the rest of the folder. So now we're going to go into coping skills. So basically now I can show you like the modules. So on Friday we did a why do we need boundaries module, and I was bored, so I outlined it. So this is basically what we talked about on Friday. So like a time boundary and energy, emotional, personal space, conversational, comment, mental, material, and social media. So another thing we like to talk about is social media and how basically social media normalizes eating disorders, which is not a good thing. And so on the bottom had nothing to do with it, but it's just something we ended up talking about. We can just ignore that. So this is what we talked about. And again, like social media boundary, I don't feel comfortable with you posting that on Instagram. That's not always an eating disorder. It could also just be a personal preference. I don't like that photo, please don't post it. Not an eating disorder problem. But sometimes it can be. Sometimes, yes, you see yourself in a certain way, you don't want that posted. So like I know for me, before I got this way, I loved taking pictures and posting pictures about myself. I really could care less what people said. But now I don't like photos being taken of me. Ironically, I have a YouTube channel and everyone can see me in my glory. So weird, right? Sometimes it's just weird how you feel about yourself, but your feelings are always valid. So I could have shown you more, but that's basically what we did for that day. And then for this was ritualistic eating. So I just underlined or highlighted the ones that stood out to me, the ones that I do mostly. So or if you see turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie on a table, can you immediately tell what holiday is? So basically that is what ritualistic eating is. So what else? Ignore my doodles, but this is something that really stood out to me because then I wrote, I buy food at a restaurant and then not eat it. I used to do that when in middle school. So I believe when I was 14, whenever I would go out to eat with my family, I would buy the food, but then I wouldn't eat it. And I had no idea that's part of your eating disorder. And the reason why I wouldn't eat it was because I had a very big fear of choking. I mean, I still do, but it's not as bad as it was in middle school. So my parents would always get annoyed because I would order something and then I wouldn't eat it. I'll eat it at home, but I wouldn't eat it in public. So I sometimes still have that problem, but it's not as bad as before. And then we had this paper, Applying Your Strengths. I wasn't here for group that day, so I didn't get to fill this out. And then this is Uncovering Your Strengths. So basically this is just what I filled out. I'm not going to go into so much detail on every single one of them, but I just want to show you this is what we do throughout the day, depending which group we have. Just want to make sure I'm not... Okay. Here's this one. I apologize if this is not as interesting as my other videos can be, but I want to be as open and real and honest with you as I possibly can. So I just wanted to update you guys on what I've been doing. And I probably should have said this in the beginning of the video, but I am no longer doing that restrictive diet I was talking about in my first food journal. That diet did not work out so well. I was only allowed to eat 500 calories and I was always hungry. And it wasn't because I was bored, it's because I was actually hungry. So it was way too expensive and it was just not worth it. So I should have said that in the beginning of the video, but now I'm just telling you this now. So this is a relapse prevention plan. I didn't get to fill this out because I think I was talking to my counselor. So okay, this is a relapse prevention plan. So it's like red light, green light, and yellow light. So I'm going to show you what the green light is, and I'm sure you can find all of these on Google. This is yellow, and then this is red. I put like SOS over here. And I know what you're thinking. These packets and papers and all these modules probably seem stupid, but they give this to you to obviously help you, and you can like look back at them when you get home, or you can finish them when you get home. It's just something like a little extra help to help you. So this one I liked. We did a weekly review. I think this was my first week. So last Monday we ended up going over this, and this is just what I put. I like doing things like this. I find it fun. And then this is like the last thing I'm going to show you for coping skills, but we did this activity, and then I was bored, so I drew a house. So those are everything for the coping skills department. And then group therapy. I don't think I'll be showing everything, but just to give you an idea. So, okay. we'll do this in either coping skills or in group therapy, and it's just weekend planning. We have to fill this out every Friday. And if we don't do all of the things on here, it's fine. It's not something we have to do. It's just like to give you an idea what you can do to distract yourself from your eating disorder. So things I have to do, I put tanning, groceries, shaving, and make a YouTube video. Things I want to do, I want to go to the beach with my friend Barbara. What I can do for my physical health, I did yoga and swim. What I can do for my mental health, yoga, essential oils. What appropriate activities can I do for fun and leisure? I put video games. How will I spend time with friends and family? I put the beach and movies. What positive coping skills will I use if I'm faced with a difficult situation? I put opposite action, or I put go outside. Name at least one positive quality I possess. I put my hands. I'm grateful for my hands so I can doodle. I'm grateful that I am empathetic and generous. And then I put one goal I plan to achieve this weekend was tanning. Big tan. What did I learn this week? It's okay if I miss a day of treatment. It's okay. So, then there's this one, what keeps eating disorders going? So, I'm not going to go through everything because it's a big packet, but I'll show you this first. And then I'll show you this one. They give you a lot of good information. This is something, this I filled out on my first day, overcoming self-sabotage. So, I'm going to give you some examples of self-sabotage. I know I wrote them down. Okay. So on the first day, we had to check off the stuff that we do for self-sabotage. So these are the number of things. Self-sabotage. And then this is what I do for my self-sabotage. Denial. I'm always in denial. Self-created stress. Approval seeking, self-deprecating humor, and lying to myself. I do this so often. It's so bad, but this is what I picked. And then there is why do we self-sabotage? Then you get to fill this out. So this is just one more thing I'm going to be showing you for group therapy. We had to fill this out. I basically what stood out to people in my group. Who is self-sabotage causing you to be? And I put a monster. And not me personally, my eating disorder. So I associate my eating disorder as a monster because it's scary and it's unfair that I have to deal with this, and I wish this could just go away, you know? So I see my self-sabotage and my eating disorder as a monster. So I think one more I'll show you for this packet. What did you see that could set yourself free? So I put freedom, moving forward and being nicer to myself. I feel free and happy. I value myself, but I want to keep living. This really stood out to my counselor, what I put. Because that's how I feel, you know? Hopefully I'll be able to conquer this and I will be able to live a healthy lifestyle, and my eating disorder will probably still be there, but it's not going to be as much of a problem. Right now, my eating disorder is controlling my life, so I don't want that anymore. about mindful eating. Now, this is something they will always talk to us about. Mindful eating, mindfulness. This is just a very common word and a common thing we have to do. And then there's this one, 13 affirmations to strengthen your recovery. I didn't get to do this yet, but I think we're gonna do this when I come back, when I go back. I'm just making sure I don't have anyone on here. Okay. And there's this one. And then this one. Okay, so that is everything from group therapy. I think there's one more, and then I'll show you what I bring. Stress management. Oh no. Okay. To give you a non-confusing idea, this is what this is the schedule that they go by every single week. So hopefully this makes more sense. So that is everything from this folder. That is everything on what I have been doing at this clinic. Another thing I mentioned that adolescents can go too. So I think the youngest that can go is 12, I think. It's like 12 to 18. No, 12 to 17 is adolescents and 18 is adults. Which I had no idea. I think that would have saved me if I went when I was younger. I just didn't even know about this. The whole reason why I even found this clinic was because I was looking for a food therapist, and the person I wanted to see, she was like booked for the entire year. So then she recommended this place to me. So now I'm just going to show you what I bring. It's not that much. Bag of pencils, pens, bag of pens, my keys, my charger. Oh. So when my first day, the director, when I had to put all the information, the important information in there, she gave me an option whether I can have a Pop-It or I can have a stress ball. I like the stress ball better. This is a stress Orbeez ball. Pop-It. I personally don't like Pop-Its, so this was not useful for me at all. So wherever I go now, whether it's group or the cafeteria or even at home, I always have this, and this really helps. Sometimes I just need to squeeze to get all my frustrations out, and this helps. And I'm sure you could find these on Amazon as well. And then, because we are still in a pandemic, we still have to wear a mask. So I think that covered everything. Like I said, I've only been here for 2 weeks. The program for the length is from 6 to 8 weeks. So what I did was, I'm currently out of work right now for short-term disability, so that I can be able to only focus on this, the best decision I have ever made. And also, I hate this decision as well, because now I'm only getting 60% of my paycheck, which is nothing. So, but my health had to come first. So, yes, I think I covered everything. If you have any questions or any concerns, or if you just want to know more about this program, please let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, I really hope you guys enjoy. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!